Welcome to the Art Costume Podcast. I'm Elizabeth Joy Glass.
And I'm a wizard without powers, Spencer Williams.
And that's like the best introduction you've ever given. Probably the most accurate.
And recording for you all live from the Emerald City with our Emerald City backdrop. It finally makes sense after a whole year.
A whole year. We've finally fitted in.
Hey, costume nerds. Welcome back. I'm so excited for today's episode. Talking about one of the world's most famous films of all time.
Yeah. The Wizard of Oz.
Doesn't get more famous than The Wizard of Oz.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't. And you want to know a fun fact? When I was a small child, The Wizard of Oz was my favorite movie.
That doesn't surprise me at all, actually.
I don't know why. I don't know why. My parents got me it was like a foot tall Judy Garland as Dorothy doll, and you press a little button on the front and she sang Over the Rainbow.
Oh.
And I had this little cabinet with all these figurines of all the characters. As a small and kindergarten, my favorite shoes to wear were these red glittery shoes.
Oh my gosh.
It's like the ruby slippers.
I love it. This episode was made for you, then. You should have wore those to the episode.
Yeah, because they would fit me now.
Well, as you can all imagine, we have so much to get into. But first, I just want to remind everyone that our new sister podcast, The Costume House with Spencer Williams, which hosted by me, Spencer Williams, is now live. We have 2 episodes live by the time you're all listening to this. We have One Battle After Another with Colleen Atwood and Hamnet with Małgorzata Trzanska, someone who we wanted to interview on a podcast for a long time, ever since The Green Knight episode.
Yes.
So I finally got to chat her, and obviously so cool.
I can't wait to hear it.
Such a great film. You're going to love that movie, by the way.
I can't wait to see it. It's on my list of things I really got to see in the theaters.
It's kind of made for you, but it made me cry like a baby. So I've already seen it, so I won't be going with you, but you should definitely go.
It made you cry so much you don't want to see it again.
Look, you all should see it multiple times. I will wait for you in the lobby.
You were like, let me know. Yeah. I'll grab some popcorn.
I'll be seeing Avatar 1,200 times. That's my safe space. Movies with emotions make me nervous.
Oh my gosh.
Which is maybe why we all so mindlessly love to watch The Wizard of Oz, which is just such a feel-good, fun movie full of kooky music, beautiful costumes, incredible sets, color. I mean, this was a huge film in the movement of color films. There's entire books about the Wizard of Oz, entire
documentary after documentary.
So this is a packed one, though. I will say we are not Wizard of Ozologists. So
no, there's so much.
We're giving you the Art of Costume podcast summary.
Yeah, there's too much, and there's so much drama. If you want to know more, there's so much out there. You can find it. Don't worry.
But we'll still give it our best shot.
Yeah.
Starting with a summary and learning a little bit more about our director, which actually, there's not one director on The Wizard of Oz.
No.
Nor was there 2, 3, 4. There were 5 directors on The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Of course, 4 of them, it appears, did not do as much as one of them.
Yes.
Most of them were uncredited. Well, actually, all of them were uncredited, except for Victor Fleming, our director, who you will know for his Oscar award-winning work on Gone to Win, Captain Courageous, A Guy Named Joe, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. There's 1,000,002 films under his belt. So, but some other directors who worked on this film as well were George Cukor, Norman Taurog, Richard Thorpe, and King Vidor. So, yeah.
I kind of want to research more into King Vidor, because I'm like, how do you have a name like that and not?
Cool.
I don't know it.
Mind you, I might be saying it wrong, but that's what it looks like to me. So.
I mean, that's what it looks like to me too.
Let's get into the summary. After the original Karen, Mrs. Gulch tries to take away Dorothy's dog, Toto, a tornado rips through Kansas, and the duo are whisked away in their house to the magical land of Oz. They follow the yellow brick road toward the Emerald City to meet the wizard, and en route they meet a scarecrow that needs a brain, a tin man missing a heart, and a cowardly lion who wants courage. The wizard asked the group to bring him the broom of the Wicked Witch of the West to earn his help. And that is the Wizard of Oz.
That is the Wizard of Oz. And if you don't know what we're talking about, you just Google it. Like, it is probably the most recognizable film of all time. Like, it's hard. There's not a lot of other films where you can just be like, oh, Wizard of Oz, and you see like Judy Garland, the Tin Man, like all the images just pop up.
Yeah, it's so recognizable, so well documented. It's just crazy to me how long this film's been around. I mean, it's been around since it feels like the beginning of time. One of my favorite, like, think about like the Wizard of Oz was around like during World War II. Like that's like a fact that blows my mind.
It was made and released right before World War II started.
It's just so bizarre to me, but yeah. Nevertheless, I'm excited to get into it because this film has some of the most iconic costumes of all time also.
Most iconic costumes. So let's meet our costume designer, Adrian, who was the head of costume design at MGM from 1928 to 1941 and is credited with designing over 250 films because this was the studio era and the head designer's name got put on everything. You will know his work from The Merry Widow in 1925, Lady Linton from 1932, Marie Antoinette, which I think we should totally do at some point, from 1938, The Philadelphia Story, and Ziegfeld Girl.
Yeah, I kept coming across Marie Antoinette, and I went to the library and got books on Adrian.
Yeah.
And I kept coming across Marie Antoinette, so I want to check that out.
Really didn't know a lot about Marie Antoinette, and I was researching Adrian's for something else years ago, and images from Marie Antoinette came up, and I had recognized them because they're just out on the internet, but I had no idea, like, oh, that was a film. But when it comes to Adrian, he was one of the most influential costume designers and fashion designers of the 20th century, from the legendary style of Joan Crawford to the stunning on-screen gowns of Greta Garbo and the elegant yet austere style of World War II America. Adrian's creativity and taste helped create the glamour of the golden age of cinema that continues to influence fashion today.
Yeah. I mean, I could look at pictures of Joan Crawford and Adrian all day long. It's just that duo. It's one of my favorites.
It's incredible, and especially like I was reading about when he had his atelier and was designing fashion, and World War II hits, and he's like, "Well, I can't do." He basically couldn't do what he was known for, but he pulled everything in. He created a whole new style for America and the world to have during that time of tragedy and scarceness, and still look beautiful and glamorous.
And we talk about Adrian on this podcast all the time. And like, even in films that you wouldn't even think, like we talked about Adrian a lot in our Blade Runner episode, talking about how silhouettes in that film were inspired by that of Adrian's from the 40s and whatnot, and 30s.
He had a taste and a style that will never stop influencing people. But when it came to costume design, he said, the dramatic situations in a picture must be costumed according to the feeling of a scene. And dang, if his costumes don't convey a feeling. In Dressed by Deborah Landis, D. McCarthy is quoted saying of costume design during the 1930s, at the large studios during Hollywood's golden age, costume designers had no fixed line in the production budget, and they worked accordingly. It also says that one of the estimates is that over $6 million was spent by Hollywood studios on costumes in 1938 alone.
Wow.
This wonderful confluence of resources and materials, staff, costume stock, and finances was probably the greatest abundance at the very successful MGM studios, which is why we got The Wizard of Oz.
This is why we call it the Golden Age.
Yeah.
There was Everyone was feeling it when it came to costumes.
Everyone was feeling it. And because of the Depression, film was something people could still afford to go to. At the time, it was one of the cheapest things you could do. So studios were raking in the money, and Adrian took full advantage of that with his work.
The Wizard of Oz was his baby. He was preparing his whole life almost for the Wizard of Oz.
Literally. When reminiscing about his work on the film, Adrian said, "I had more fun over Oz than a trip to Europe. It was the greatest fun I have ever had in costume design." And he was particularly excited to work on this project because he loved the Wizard of Oz books as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
They were being released as he was growing up, and he loved them more than anything else. He took a lot of his inspiration for the Wizard of Oz from drawings he'd made as a child.
Yeah, I read that. I came across that fact too. He used to draw what he imagined the characters would look like when he was a kid.
Yeah, which is like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That you can do that and then years later be like, "Hey, mom, dad, sis, can you send me? I need those sketches from when I was 12. Thank you."
The studio's like, "You already did the sketches?" Like, yeah.
Just a little something I thought of. It might come in handy.
Yeah.
And for the Wizard of Oz, in addition to these childhood sketches, he made 3,210 costume sketches.
Wow.
Painted all of them to match the requirements of Technicolor film. Technicolor was very new technology and had very specific specifications for what colors would and would not work.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much every costume in the film was custom made since there was nothing appropriate in the MGM costume stock. Just nothing for the citizens of Oz. And just for extras alone, 124 Munchkin costumes were created, and 300 costumes were created for the citizens of the Emerald City.
Wow. It's no joke, the Wizard of Oz.
It really isn't. It really isn't. So many people poured so much into this, and I can't wait for us to go behind the costumes and behind the scenes.
I'm so excited. I can't believe that it's season 5 and we haven't talked about the Wizard of Oz.
I know.
I feel like it's due time, especially with Wicked Part 2 coming out.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it is out. What am I saying?
Yeah.
It's out. I just haven't seen it. But now's the time. So I'm ready. Let's take a little break and we'll hop into our house that gets flung into the sky by a tornado.
Yeah. Just flung into a whole new world. Makes a lot of sense.
And land in Emerald City. Check us out on YouTube so you can see our background, which we've had since January. But if you're just now seeing it, it's Emerald.
It's fun.
All right.
Hi, I'm Dan, who does all the magic behind the scenes. I wanted to say thank you, and if you want to support the show even farther, go to tpublic.com/user/theartofcostume, where you can buy a couple variations of our logo on t-shirts, mugs, and stickers. Also, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're an audio listener, leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. Now, back to the show.
All right, Elizabeth, are you ready to head to Kansas in a very sepia tone?
You know it. You know it.
Every time I see these opening scenes of The Wizard of Oz, every single time I'm like, I thought this movie was in color. Every time.
Even though famously the parts in Kansas are not in color.
Yeah, it always takes me a minute. But now I've seen this film this is like my 3rd time watching The Wizard of Oz this year. I don't know why. I've just been making up for lost time.
I guess so. It's the first time I've seen it since I was a child. And quite frankly, all this time I was always like, I could never understand why her aunt and uncle gave Toto to the terrible neighbor. And then when the neighbor comes by with the warrant, I'm like, that's why. Yeah. I was just always like, what is wrong with Dorothy's aunt and uncle? And then I'm like, oh, this makes sense.
I called Mrs. Gilch or Mrs. Gulch? Mrs. G.
Yeah.
We'll call her Mrs. G. She is the original Karen. The
She
nerve
really
of this woman to
is.
come with a warrant that she pulled out of her pocket. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to go
Like,
get the sheriff and have them present the warrant for
I'm
me.
like, okay, Toto running through your garden, chasing your cat, maybe messing some stuff up. Not cool.
Sounds like maybe Toto might have bit her.
Yeah.
But Toto's so cute.
Toto's so cute. Toto's a tiny dog, but maybe like this also clearly wasn't the first time this happened.
Oh yeah.
Maybe like the first time it happened, go to her aunt and uncle, will be like, hey, when she's like not on your farm, could she like put a leash on the dog? Maybe.
Love Judy Garland, love Dorothy, but she does seem like the rule following isn't really her strong suit. Yeah.
No. She's definitely, I mean, I think she's just bored out of her mind, which like if I was a child of the Depression who lived in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, I kind of get it.
I mean, she could just help on the farm, but
oh yeah, but do you really think she's getting that dress that messy?
No, I don't.
It also doesn't sound like her aunt and uncle are asking for her help, though.
Yeah.
And she's probably tried to help. I could see her being one of those kids who really tried to help. And every time they tried to help, they made things worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now everyone's just like, it's okay, Dorothy.
Yeah. But I really do love those opening scenes. I just, even though it's in that sepia tone, it is actually quite beautiful. And you could just really see the detail that Adrian put into the costumes, even though they're supposed to be, very kind of dirty working class people on the farm. Even though the mean neighbor lady who is played by Margaret Hamilton is a jerk, she still looks good.
Still looks good.
I love the lines on her shirt. I love Adrian's use of line and silhouette in this film, which he's known for in general. But like, and we'll talk about Dorothy's dress later, but just seeing the lines in like the bodice and the neighbor's shirt. And then every single time, I love seeing all the farmhands because they end up being the Tin Man, the Lion, and the Scarecrow. But it wasn't until I was older when I actually realized that. So it's fun now to see it.
Yeah, that was definitely something. Because like I've watched documentaries about the Wizard of Oz on and off through the years. And so I knew that this time going into it. It's definitely something I didn't pick up on as a child. Also didn't pick up on the like traveling professor man she runs into being the wizard. Fun fact about the coat he wears, it was thrifted by the actor, and they found L. Frank Baum, the author of The Wizard of Oz. His name was stitched into the lining.
Wow.
And it was confirmed by his widow and tailor that the coat had once been owned by the author. So one of his pieces of clothing made it into the film. A lot of people think that was like a PR stunt or didn't actually happen.
Mm-hmm.
But there's really no evidence to the contrary. Like,
so we're gonna believe it, but the chances of that feel insane.
Well, L. Frank Baum lived in the Los Angeles area.
Yeah, no, I mean it's possible. It's possible.
It was very possible. So yeah. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'll choose to believe it.
I'll choose to believe it. And you know what? I think it's a cool coincidence. I also think the Munchkinland aesthetic is incredible.
It's incredible. First, I love that moment, which everyone talks about, when the color just fills the screen and it really transports you. That is like such a cool moment, and that'll never get old.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, Munchkinland has and always will probably terrify me.
Why?
It's the Lollipop Guild.
What's wrong with the Lollipop Guild?
I don't know.
They're like, they all have such fun colors on.
Their costumes are amazing.
Why do they scare
you? I don't know. It's just it's always.
We have the Lullaby League, and they're adorable little like
the Lullaby
ballerina.
League's cute.
Yeah,
the Lullaby League is cute.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that really crazy to say? It's like a nervous energy part for me at Munchkinland.
I will say, I thought it was when they first wouldn't come out, but I mean, the Munchkins are traumatized. They've been traumatized by the Wicked Witches. And, they're a little reluctant to trust somebody new, which I get. But it is a little creepy when you just hear them, like, laughing. I will give you that. But once they come out, it's like, okay, love the color blocking.
Yeah.
Love the plaids.
Hey, the Munchkins know how to dress.
The Munchkins do know how to dress.
The one Munchkin with the certificate of death and the blue and like the really interesting hat.
Yes.
Like that's a really cool one. The mayor looks great. I mean, I just can't even imagine. Well, actually, I've seen pictures of like the clothing racks that, you know, from Adrian and his team's studio. Can you just imagine like those racks and racks of just all these? No
colorful.
Piece is the same in Munchkinland.
No piece is the same. He also put a lot of like flower detail and like kind of like natural elements because you see them all pop up from the ground. So he really wanted them to like be connected to like the nature around them, which is so cool. Would love to know who did the hats on this because they are incredible. Although Adrian's parents had been milliners, so he could have just designed them himself and been like, here you go.
Totally. And one thing also about like Munchkinland too is like there was a lot of you could tell they used color to kind of describe the different, you know, like there's a lollipop guild, the three girls that you were talking about,
the Lullaby League.
Like they all had their own like color schemes too as well, which I thought was very interesting, which I didn't notice until this watch around also. So
they definitely have everyone has their own style, but it's all Munchkinland.
Yeah.
It's all Munchkinland.
But the part that we all like remember is that first time we see Billy Burke arrive as Glinda, the Good Witch. It is one of the most incredible, you know, costumes that we've seen at this point in cinema, and it's so recognized. And I'm excited that we got to do that one episode with Paul Tazwell about Wicked 2, who got to talk about his inspirations from the dress and just how much this dress has inspired people in costume to this day.
It absolutely has. And Billy Burke, who played Glinda, said of her costume, I looked like a fugitive from a German opera. But in a way, I suppose, too, Glinda's a heroic figure. She only has to wave her wand and the world is changed. Much like Queen Victoria did in real life. So I love that she's like, this is kind of wild, but like, also, she loves the chaotic energy of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, because Glinda's got some chaotic energy. And it's gorgeous. In the book, apparently, she wears white with silver stars, but the Technicolor, they weren't gonna like lose any chances. So Adrian went with pink and silver stars, which I'm like, that's just perfect, especially because like Glinda gives off this very like bubblegummy like cheerfulness.
Yeah.
So the pink goes perfectly with that.
Yeah, I think it's a good choice. I love the pink and I love how it stands out, especially where it's standing next to Dorothy in the blue. I just think it works really well. The bubble is pink, so yeah, I think it was the
hair is perfect. And shout out to the makeup team. I was watching a documentary on YouTube because I believe Billy Burke was in her late 50s, early 60s when she did this, and they basically gave her a facelift using silk.
Oh.
Which is why she looks so young. Because like
I didn't know you could do that.
I had always thought like she was in like her 20s or 30s. And no. She
looks
older.
great.
Yeah. I'm like, who did the makeup again?
Yeah. Speaking of interesting makeup, we have the Scarecrow. We're starting to meet our foursome that Dorothy hooks up with. The Scarecrow, another fun character. I was also watching a documentary earlier. I believe the Scarecrow costume is currently at the Smithsonian.
Ooh.
And they have it, and you got to see in this documentary. And they actually stuffed it with straw. Like that's a real straw that they're stuffing in there.
Yeah, it is. And Ray Bolger, just so perfect in this role. And Adrian, in addition to his childhood sketches, really drew inspiration from the books. The Scarecrow looks very much like his illustrated counterpart. And the rubber mask only covered half his face. They made it to look like burlap, and they went through dozens of them during the course of filming.
Yeah.
Which I'm just like, honestly, like, you really, the way Ray Bolger A moves, because he was such an incredible dancer, and the way the straw is hanging out of like every part of that costume, it's really hard to tell that like he is a human. Like, which is weird to say, but very true.
It's a very convincing Scarecrow costume, honestly. I mean, you know, it's very good. I was reading a book had like a bunch of quotes from Judy Garland, and she basically said Ray Bolger was always dancing on set too. Like that was him. The Scarecrow, it was like perfect casting.
Yeah. They also, however, they did threaten him with the Tin Man part at one point, because apparently he was just very full of himself.
Yeah, we're gonna have to ground you here.
The Tin Man had a little bit less on-screen time, and the Tin Man had a little less screen time. However, his costume also closely resembled the original book illustrations, but instead of metal, was made of starched and lined buckram and painted silver. Now, Buddy Epson was first cast to play the Tin Man. However, his powdered silver-based makeup ended up coating the inside of his lungs. And according to him, one day on set, he just breathed in and then nothing happened. And he woke up in the hospital.
What? No.
The studio called the next day and was like, hey, when can you start filming again?
How about never?
Buddy Epson got replaced with Jack Hawley because basically he wouldn't get better soon enough.
Damn.
So we have Jack Hawley as the Tin Man. You will still hear Buddy Epson's voice, though, on We're Off to See the Wizard. They didn't re-record his singing for it. And for Jack, they created a cream-based silver makeup so that he would not breathe in the silver and avoid going to the hospital.
After they used the last actor as a guinea pig.
Literally.
That's crazy. Oh.
Yeah.
With that, another character that I love. I'm sorry, this character also used to spook me out as a kid.
Really?
I'm talking about the Cowardly Lion.
But he's so nice.
He's so nice and so adorable. Something about that moment though, when he puts a little bow and he like kind of curls his hair after the makeover scene. It never sat right with me.
Okay. I mean, The Wizard of Oz has scared many a child, so...
Yeah, I guess I was one of such children.
Yeah.
I'm a little on edge for this episode.
I think by the time Wizard of Oz became my favorite movie, I was already traumatized by Mars Attacks, so...
Oh, well.
There wasn't a lot that could scare me at that point. But we have Bert Lars, the Cowardly Lion, which was made up of real lion skins and a mane.
What? This movie's wild. Things have changed.
Things have changed. There was padding on the inside that made it weigh about 50 pounds. Apparently, Bert Lars kind of hated that. He was just like dying of heat all the time. It wasn't great. A lot of people suffered for their costumes on this film.
Well, if you look at the makeup test, they don't look thrilled to be there either.
No, yeah, they don't. They don't.
Which I want to shout out. If you all currently on display at the Academy Museum in Los Angeles, there's a whole section dedicated to makeup tests from The Wizard of Oz currently in the costume section.
Let's go.
So you could see I mean, some of these pictures which Elizabeth is providing for the podcast, you could see some of the actual prints and sketches.
For The Wizard of Oz, it's one of the few like old time films that really has a lot of great pictures of like the screen tests. There's a lot of them out there. The tail was manipulated with a fishing rod and wire during the filming, which I think is just so funny. I was like, when we were watching, I was watching one of the documentaries about this. I was watching it with our friend Kelly, and because they were talking about how like literally every single effect in this is practical in some way, and we were both just like blown away by everything. But for some reason, I found it so funny that like the tail of the lion, it's just fishing wire.
Yeah.
Because like nowadays you think like, oh, they put some sort of like mechanical something and like someone is behind. No, it's just a guy with a fishing rod.
Yeah, it's a guy with a fishing rod that followed behind him to make the tail move. And in that same book, which I'm going to put in the show notes, the book title, Judy Garland talked about how she just thought it was hilarious and that she would always just be laughing at Bert Lahr because
the director slapped her at one point because she was laughing so much.
Oh, I didn't read that part.
Yes, he slapped her. Then after they were done filming, he was like, I'm sorry, you can slap me in return. But apparently she had a crush on him. So she's like, no, I'll just kiss you on the nose instead.
I did know that.
Which I'm like,
huh.
Good thing things have changed?
Maybe?
But Cowardly Lion, especially his like prosthetics for his face, they just transform him so perfectly, especially because they considered using the MGM lion at first. But their insurance guys were like, no fucking way. They were like, you cannot put a live lion on stage with your 3 other main actors. Absolutely not.
That's wild. I mean, there was like prosthetic ears, lips, jowls. It's a whole thing.
And it's done to great effect.
Mm-hmm. And I believe it's still surviving. I saw it's been like auctioned off, like the whole thing.
It's looking a little rough, but yeah.
Yeah.
We have the flying monkeys.
I love the flying monkeys.
I will say the one part that did scare me as a kid was the flying monkeys.
That's fair.
Because they're just a little terrifying.
Well, I feel that way about all monkeys in general.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why we haven't done the Planet of the Apes on this podcast.
Really?
Yeah. They freak me out.
Huh. Okay.
Colleen Atwood, your film, The Planet of the Apes from the 2000s, ruined my life. And it's scary.
Giving me ideas for next season. All right.
With Tim Burton directed it, and Helena Bonham Carter's a monkey.
Yeah.
That's a sick movie, and not in a sick way like I love it. Sick like it makes my hair stand up.
Fascinating.
Yeah, but anyways,
fascinating. Flying monkeys. Honestly, when you just see little screenshots of them, they're so cute. I love their little boleros and the little hat.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I always thought they had like a circus element to them too.
They did.
It's like a circus print to me.
Yeah, you're right. But also it's very like flames kind of.
Spooky.
We have the Wicked Witch of the West, played by Margaret Hamilton. But do you know what, Spencer? She wasn't supposed to be the Wicked Witch of the West at first.
Oh, surprising.
Surprise, surprise.
Who was she supposed to be at first?
She was supposed to be Gail Sondergrad.
Ooh. I've seen pictures I've seen these makeup tests before.
Yeah, she's the voice of the evil queen in Snow White, and the Snow White film, which had come out like about 2 years before they started production on The Wizard of Oz, was a huge inspiration for the team because at the time fantasy was not a big seller. And so they were really worried about adapting a fantasy novel. So they drew a lot of inspiration from Disney's Snow White, including casting Gail Sondergrad at first. And she was supposed to have this very like elegant, evil persona, which you can see first in this like sequin black hat. Like Adrian had her all decked out in sequins. And then they were like, no, like glamour really isn't the way to go for this. And so they started to like make her look a little uglier, a little bit more like the ugly Wicked Witch we know. And she was out. She refused to play an ugly witch.
Whoa, actually, I'm good.
Yeah. She was like, she did a couple of these tests and then was like, absolutely not. Which is how we got the incredible Margaret Hamilton, who talk about scary.
Yeah, and so iconic too. I love the Wicked Witch of the West. So iconic. I'm glad that Margaret Hamilton got to do it. I love the black pointed hat. It to me, if you all listen to our podcast about Raiders of the Lost Ark, me and Deborah Landis talked about how like there's two iconic hats in film history. It's Indiana Jones's hat and the Wicked Witch's hat.
Absolutely.
I love it because it's just so simple. It's just that point, which obviously it's like a witch trope, but just somehow the Wizard of Oz, it almost feels like it comes from the Wizard of Oz, even though it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's just like when people think of witches, they think of Margaret Hamilton's witch.
With that like black little wispiness that you can see as she's flying. And I love the simplicity of it, but I also love seeing some of the pictures where you can see the detail. Like, Adrian spared no expense, even though there's only like 11 minutes of the Wicked Witch.
Yeah.
A lot of it got cut, and she was also out for several weeks because the stunt in Munchkinland where she disappears in smoke and fire.
Yeah.
They got it perfectly on a couple takes, went to lunch, came back. She got 1st and 2nd degree burns.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say something burned her.
And guess what the studio did?
What?
They called the next day and asked when she could come back to work.
Yeah, the HR department on The Wizard of Oz is wild.
I don't think it existed. Because her first day back to work,
oh gosh,
they had planned the broomstick stunt where she goes off on her broomstick and there's smoke and fire as she's going off into the sky. And Margaret Hamilton was like, you gotta be kidding me. Especially because they handed her a flame retardant suit. And they were like, oh, it's perfectly safe, don't worry. And she was like, you just handed me a flame retardant suit.
That means you're worried.
Yeah. And she's like, I have a son. I have a child. No. She refused to do it. So they got her body double, who was also a stunt double. That stunt double landed in the hospital because it blew up.
Oh.
Right underneath her.
I'm not laughing because it's funny.
It's not. Her injuries were extensive. Some of them were internal.
Oh my gosh.
It like really ruined that poor woman's career.
Wow.
Yeah. So Wizard of Oz, a lot of people thought it was cursed for a while. Mm-hmm. And I can understand why.
Yeah, it's feeling darker and darker as we go through this podcast.
Maybe. You know what wasn't dark, Spencer? When Margaret Hamill went on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Oh.
Years later, because the Wicked Witch terrified children.
Yeah.
For many, many years. So she went on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood to kind of like explain the process of being an actor, and she put on her costume. Do you want to take a little look?
I do. That'd be fun. I haven't seen Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood in a long time.
Same.
Her name is Margaret Hamilton. Here's a picture of her. One of the movies that she played in was called The Wizard of Oz, and she played the part of the Wicked Witch of the West. Oh, Miss Hamilton.
Oh, nice to see you,
I'm
Mr.
so
Rogers.
glad to see you. I'd like you to know my television friend, Miss Margaret Hamilton. Elsie Neal
Can I take that?
gave these to us.
Oh, how nice of
Won't
her.
you come in?
Yes, thank you. I'd love to.
That's a familiar costume for you, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Before we try this on, I'd just like to talk with you a while.
All right. It'd be lovely to talk to you.
I'm interested to know about how you felt about playing that Wicked Witch in The Wizard of Oz.
Well, I really was very thrilled to. I had done it very often, not that one, but a witch when I was a little girl on Halloween. That was the thing that I always wanted to dress up as. It's like lots of children would rather be a witch than almost anything else. There are lots of other things you can pick out, but that's the one I loved. And so when I had the chance to do this, I was very, very happy about it.
Well, girls and boys like to play witches.
Yes, they do. Yes, they certainly do.
And when you feel as if you'd like to play something a little bit scary, a witch is a fine thing to play.
Yes, she has lots of things about her. I've always felt that sometimes the children feel that she's a very mean witch, and I expect she does seem that way. But I always think that there are two things about her. She does enjoy everything that she does, whether it's good or bad. She enjoys it. But she also is what we sometimes refer to as frustrated. She's very unhappy because she never gets what she wants. Mr. Rogers, you know, most of us get something along the line, but as far as we know, that witch just never got what she wanted. And mainly she wanted those ruby slippers because she had lots of power and she wanted more power.
Yes.
And I just think that sometimes we think she's just mean and a very bad person, but actually you have to think about her point of view, that it wasn't as happy a time as she wanted it to be because she just never got what she wanted.
Would you try on a dress like the one you had on?
Yes, I'd love to. I think that would be fun.
Now, we've seen the hat, but Elsie told me that a lot of pieces of the costume were in here.
Oh, my. How nice. Yes. That's my skirt.
How would you put that? Oh, you just put it around like that.
Like this. And tie it. Look at here. Something to put things in. Even witches have to have pockets. There.
It's helping me just to see you get into these things.
Oh, I'm glad.
To know that you're a real lady who got dressed up to play this part.
Mm.
I want to turn around and I'll show my friends that this is a real zipper back here, just like the zipper on my sweaters. There it goes. There.
There.
Oh, that
Isn't
looks
that fun?
great.
You know, this is just like a Halloween costume, too, isn't it?
It really is.
Oh, yes, there's the cape. Now, see? Sometimes I wear the cape and fly it around like that, and sometimes I don't wear the cape at all. Would you touch the cape a minute, Mr.
Certainly.
Rogers? Thank you. And now the hat. Now let's see. There. Now there's your old friend, the Wicked Witch of the West.
How did she talk?
Well, she talked like this. It's very nice to see you.
That was so sweet.
Right?
That kind of made my day a little bit. That was sweet.
I love even because that must have been like, gosh, when did Mr. Rogers start? The 70s or 80s?
I have no idea.
And like this film, even then, because especially when it went into television syndication, so many people came to know and love it. And I love that like he took time out of his show to be like, hey, like this is what an actress does, and like this is costume in a way that like kids could understand.
Yeah.
But you know what's also pretty cool?
The Emerald City. We got to get into
Yes.
it. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Everything's green. The same actor plays everybody. Almost.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such interesting silhouettes shapes. I mean, you don't see anything like this. The Wizard of Oz and the Emerald City were just something in its own. And like we talked to Paul Tazwell about too when he did Wicked. It's like that lead up to the Emerald City must have just been terrifying, because that this is a place of such kind of like posh class.
Yeah.
Everyone there kind of has like good taste. It's very elegant.
There's a spa just for visitors to freshen up.
Yeah, which leads to that terrifying moment with the Cowardly Lion and his new perm. But like, it is such a great place to be.
It really is. Like, they give Dorothy a little perm. Like, Frank Morgan, there we go. He plays the wizard. He also plays the doorman, the guard, the coachman. And I especially love the guard because clearly Adrian took inspiration from the guards outside Buckingham Palace with that huge green fur hat. And just like, each look is so unique. And then you get to the wizard.
Yeah.
And the wizard looks quite boring.
Yeah, he's just a guy.
He's just a guy.
The costume is like, this is that of like a normal person, which, I mean, pretty immediately, Dorothy and the crew are like, oh, you have no power at all. You're just kind of a dork.
Yeah.
Which actually it works out. It's not as strong there, but they're like, oh, like he's just a guy. But then they start to believe his power again. But I think just seeing him in that suit at first was like jarring to them. Like that can't be the wizard.
Especially because like that huge projection of his like alien head is terrifying. That did scare me as a kid.
Yeah.
But who is brave and gets through it anyway, Spencer?
Man, Judy Garland went through it on this film.
Judy Garland went through it. Do you know who was supposed to play Dorothy at first, though?
Oh, I do actually. It was Shirley Temple, right?
Yeah.
I did my homework.
Yeah. MGM was supposed to do basically an actor swap to get Shirley Temple to play Dorothy, because Shirley Temple was the right age to play the book Dorothy. Unfortunately, the actress from MGM that they were supposed to trade passed away suddenly, and this deal went through. But Judy Garland gave us an iconic performance.
Yeah, it's one of the most celebrated performances of all time.
And while Dorothy only had one costume for the entire film, it took several tries before getting that iconic gingham dress. One of the options was light blue with no trim. Another was gingham with trim. There was another solid blue one with tiny bows. Also, Judy's hair went from red to blonde. Like, it was all over the place.
Yeah. They like one of the most simple costumes felt like it was just they had to just get it right, and they threw everything at it.
And it's so funny because I found a picture of like all of the options right next to each other, and they all look so similar.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally just like the color and the pattern and the trim. Like, it's still like the pinafore with the puffy sleeves. But when they changed directors and Victor Fleming took over, he was not a fan of what was happening at the time. So Adrian created the iconic gingham dress. And since Judy Garland was 16 when filming this, and they still wanted to portray her as being very young, she was forced to wear a corset under her costume to flatten her chest and make her look more childlike.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So they made the change of having Dorothy be older, but they still tried to like force her into this like fully childlike portrayal.
Yeah, because I mean, they still like very much playing Dorothy. They wanted someone who could really like take on the singing and the performing. Not that Shirley Temple couldn't, but they just like they wanted Judy Garland obviously had something special and something unique that just like filled this role so perfectly.
And when they cast her, they did there were so many rewrites of the script, but they did add like a subplot of like a romance between her and the Scarecrow, which is why like at the end she's like, oh, I think I'll miss you the most. It's one of the lines that held through. But then they were like, no, this is weird.
Yeah, not a fan.
Not a fan. We'll just make her more childlike and force her into a corset.
Yeah, that feels better. I do love the dress though. Actually, today when I was watching it again, I was very fascinated by seeing like the stylized lines actually, because she does wear this dress through the whole thing, but it's not like he just put her in a gingham dress and called it a day. Like it's a very actually tailored dress if you look at it closely.
Yeah. It's super tailored. Like the blue and like this, you can tell like a lot of work went into those sleeves because they're not too puffy. And the hair was perfect as well.
Falls like just in the right spot on the dress too. That like barely covers the straps. It's yeah, you could just tell that even in the simple details that Adrian and the team really like took everything into consideration.
You know what they especially took into consideration?
Mm.
The ruby slippers.
Oh my gosh, the ruby slippers. The ruby slippers are basically their own character in this film and just in cinema history.
In cinema history, post-production, the ruby slippers have had just an entire history unto themselves.
Yeah, I just before filming today, I finished watching a documentary. I think it's called like Red Ruby Handed or something of that. You could see on Disney Plus and Hulu. It's a new documentary and it's about the recent like
oh yeah,
of the
theft.
ruby slippers being brought back. They were stolen in like 2005 from the Judy Garland Museum in oh my gosh, Minnesota, and it was stolen, and it goes into this whole journey, and they were just barely really returned in like a couple of years ago to the original owner. There were between 4 and 6 pairs of these ruby slippers, so there's a bunch of fakes out there.
There are 4 confirmed on screen. One's at the Academy Museum, one's at the Judy Garland. I think there's a pair at the Smithsonian.
There is a pair at the Smithsonian, so there's not one at the Judy Garland anymore. That it was recently auctioned off for $21 million.
Of all the things in your museum, you auction off that?
Well, so it didn't go back to the museum after they lost it.
Oh, who got it then?
They won't say until that person decides they want the world to know.
All right.
So instead they didn't have the money. I'm just going into a whole like rabbit hole now. They didn't have the money, obviously $21 million to buy the slippers at auction after they lost them the first time. So
but they were stolen from the museum. They didn't get them back?
But they were property of this collector who let the Judy Garland Museum borrow it for a festival, and it got stolen during the festival. So it was property of the collector. When he got it back after all these years, he was like, actually, I probably shouldn't have these anymore. So he sold them. And that's why they're now with a new collector or exhibition or somewhere out there that we don't know yet. But hopefully we'll find out one day. But yeah, so if you go to the Judy Garland Museum now they got like a painting for like $20,000 like of the slippers, which is a huge bummer.
That's so crazy.
But anyways, yeah, check out that documentary on Hulu and Disney Plus. It was a fun watch. It's like an hour. It's a true crime documentary about ruby slippers, and they talk about Adrian. It's like
true crime. You got me right there.
Yeah, it's like costume nerd true crime. It's really interesting.
You know what else is interesting, Spencer? The ruby slippers weren't supposed to be ruby.
Right.
In Frank L. Baum's original story, Dorothy wears silver slippers. However, silver wasn't going to have enough contrast in Technicolor. They were like, we are not spending millions of dollars for one of the most important objects in this film not to look perfect. So Adrian came up with the idea of the red ruby slippers because they would contrast best with the yellow brick road. And MGM was like, yes, Thank you. $3 million. Thank you.
Yeah. Like Silver would not have. She does wear the blue socks, Dorothy does,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it just would not have worked. Like even
No.
without the yellow brick road, I don't think Silver would have
No.
worked. And yeah, they're actually more like a burgundy in real life,
Yeah.
to match with like the Technicolor like necessities.
That's like when you hear a lot about like costume design and color, especially back then, they had to do things a little bit off so that they would film to the correct color. So they had to be that burgundy so that they turned up bright. Like they literally look fire engine red in the
film. But yeah, we could talk about those ruby slippers all day long.
Forever.
They're so beautiful. I think they even had pads on the bottom because of the yellow brick road also too.
Yeah, and it's so funny. You'll see behind the scenes of Judy Garland wearing like these big fluffy slippers because they like pinched her toes. So in between takes, she would just take them off.
I'm sure.
And wear slippers.
It's so funny too, and like how, I mean, like the last pair auctioned for $21 million or something. But like these shoes are made for, I believe it's estimated like $15.
Probably.
It's just so funny to think that like these shoes that she kicked off because they hurt, just threw them around set, how just how iconic and legendary they would become. It's so funny to me.
And I wonder how many pairs, because they made a bunch of pairs for her. I'm like, I wonder how many are just like floating around.
I know. I'm sure there's probably another pair in just someone's closet that they've,
some
like,
collectors, somebody's like parent was a collector and they're just in a trunk somewhere.
Yeah. It's horrible to think about. Well, we're going to take a little break, and when we come back when we come back from our trip down the Yellow Brick Road and Emerald City, we're going to play our favorite games.
We are going to play our favorite games. Spencer, now that we're at the end, I think it's clear to see that Adrian had a huge impact on film through The Wizard of Oz. And you can tell this most recently when Ariana Grande wore one of his gowns to the London premiere of Wicked for good to pay tribute to the legendary film and fashion designer.
I love that.
Right?
And just seeing it on her too. If you're watching on YouTube, you could see a picture. Just how timeless the Adrian silhouette looks. I mean, Ariana Grande, she looks good in everything, but like all these years later, the Adrian on her just looked incredible. And I think that's perfect homage, and a lot of respect to Ariana Grande and her stylist team for doing that tribute to Adrian, because I don't think, I don't know, maybe Adrian just doesn't get enough credit for The Wizard of Oz. Like he does, but I'm just like, he just did so much of carrying this film on. The costumes made The Wizard of Oz. Absolutely. Along with Judy Garland's performance and whatnot. So I don't know, just put some respect on a costume designer's name.
I think it's that enduring problem of people just not knowing and caring, and only like costume nerds like us, fashion nerds, know who Adrian is, but people just don't know their history, which is what you have us for. Yeah. Share us with your friends and family so that they know things.
Yeah. Well, with that, I'm so glad we finally watched The Wizard of Oz. Do we even give a Stitch rating for The Wizard of Oz? It feels a bit silly, but
I don't think we can give a Stitch. Like, I feel like it would be insulting to give a Stitch rating.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it's just like so legendary, and you can't argue its place in film history or American culture.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think I even gave this a letterbox review. I was like, well, what am I going to do? Yeah, like, what are you going to do?
It's The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. But we can play our other favorite game, One Costume to Rule Them All. Let's do it.
The one costume to rule them all. Spencer, what's your one costume to rule them all?
This is an easy one, and actually you made it even more easy when I got to watch that beautiful video with Margaret Hamilton and Mr. Rogers. So, it has to be the Wicked Witch of the West costume.
Yes.
Just because it's so iconic, it's cool, it's spooky, but then, it's hard wearing all black, especially against green skin like that, and you kind of lose the detail, but just this time around, getting to look closely at the actual detail of the sleeves of the Wicked Witch's costume, seeing the fabric below on the back of the hat. It's just, to me, I love it. It's just iconic. You can't get more iconic than the Wicked Witch costume.
It is definitely hard to get more iconic than the Wicked Witch costume. It's a symbol, unto itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like my one costume to rule them all is also a symbol unto itself, and it is Dorothy's costume.
Yeah.
Her blue and white gingham dress, the ruby slippers. It's just, I loved this growing up. Like, I wanted to look like Dorothy. And it's just like the perfect encapsulation, I think, of what they were trying to do with The Wizard of Oz, which was make a fun children's film.
Fun children's film that we would be obsessed with all these years later. Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, it's true. And I've actually gotten to see one of Dorothy dresses in person before, also at the Academy Museum. And
I need to go to the Academy Museum more.
Yeah, they don't have that Wizard of Oz exhibit open anymore. It was one of the first ones, but they did recently actually have the ruby slippers on display again. So I don't think they're there again, but I think just keep an eye on the Academy Museum, because I'm sure they're going to pop back up somehow.
I'm sure.
So they're not going anywhere. With that brings us to the end of The Wizard of Oz. What a fun episode. I'm so glad we finally got to do it. It's just iconic, and just in time for Wicked season, which you all know we're obviously gonna be doing a Wicked for Good episode soon too. So this is our subliminal messages telling you to prepare yourself for that, because it's happening.
Go see it. Go see it.
And with that, I'm excited to say that we have a couple more episodes this season, and our next one is one that we've been talking about off and on for all 5 seasons.
Yeah. It is a classic, and, we've come to the cozy classic time of the year with the holidays coming up. So we chose Hollywood Golden Age classic, My Fair Lady.
Yeah, this is a good one with Audrey Hepburn and Rex Harrison, who we really got to know when we did our Cleopatra episode earlier this year. I'm excited. It's funny, I went to like a My Fair Lady exhibition years ago.
Yeah.
And I have all this like content from it, and we've just been saving it for one day doing this podcast episode. So when Elizabeth said My Fair Lady, I was like, yes, finally, I have pictures.
You're like, I have everything I need.
I've been prepared. Well, with that, email us at theartofcostume@gmail.com. Let us know what your one costume rule them all is from The Wizard of Oz. Was it one of Dorothy's friends? Was it the Wicked Witch? Was it Glinda? There's no wrong answers with The Wizard of Oz.
There's no wrong answers.
Follow us on Instagram at The Art of Costume Pod, TikTok at The Art of Costume, our merch store if you want to get something for the holidays, theartofcostume.com/podstore. And don't forget to listen to our new sister podcast, The Costume House with Spencer Williams, where we interview costume designers like we've been doing on here, but now it has its own new theme music and stuff, so it's fun.
Its own home.
Yeah. And leave us a 5-star text review on Apple Podcast and on Spotify.
Share us with your friends. Share the knowledge.
Share us with your friends in Kansas and Munchkinland, the Emerald City.
Anywhere you go.
Wherever you go, talk about us. And subscribe on YouTube as well. So you could see all these beautiful Technicolor pictures as well. Elizabeth, I think I'm going to find somewhere over the rainbow and get some dinner.
Same. Same.
Until next episode, we'll see you all costume nerds next time.
See you next time.